Hello. Are we live? Yeah, we're live. I just wanted to do a quick update for Durban. Just following on from my announcement today that the incredible news is that we're going back to Durban. It's going to be the 31st of March. And I'm very, very excited to be coming back. South Africa holds a very special place in my heart. And Durban in particular has always been the record holder for the biggest Callum Scott ticket buying audience. 2018, when I was on my own The Human World Tour, Durban, I sold over 10,000 tickets, which is the most I've ever done for my own show, which I think is just bonkers. So Durban's always held a really special place in my heart. And obviously on the Bridges World Tour, I was really, really looking forward to playing Durban. Unfortunately, as many of you know, especially many of the ticket holders for Durban know, definitely know, I had to cancel the show. Now, just to reiterate, cancelling shows makes me feel sick. I've cancelled 3 shows in my entire life, and all 3 of those was this year. 2 of those was when I was performing as support for The Script on their Greatest Hits World Tour in America, in Philadelphia and Boston. My voice just absolutely cut out. And that's for many different reasons, but the main reason is because, it's not even for many different reasons anyway. It's the main reason is that we were 2 years away. I wasn't training my voice up as I have been since I started in this career. And it's like an athlete, getting ready, training for a race, and always training for a race and being able to race competitively, then having 2 years away from training and then trying to do the same race, right? So that's the reason why my voice had stopped working on those particular shows, and I went back as I promised I would as part of my world tour, and we did 2 sold-out shows in Boston, we sold out Philadelphia, and it was incredible. The reason I'm saying this is because when I cancelled the Durban show, I was adamant that we would reschedule it. And it has taken some time, and I know that people have been very frustrated. What I will say is that some of the comments haven't been very helpful. As much as I understand disappointment, and I've been in the same situation where I've been looking forward to seeing a favourite artist and they've had to postpone the show or cancel altogether, it's gutting. And I know more than anybody, coming from a 9-to-5 job that I worked 8 years before I got in this job, I know what it feels like to be saving your money and to be thinking that's the gig I want to go to this year. And it is devastating, and all I can do is apologise. I never ever want to cancel shows, but some of the comments that were made I feel were a little bit thoughtless and are really hurtful. Nobody will punish themselves more than me punishing myself when I've had to cancel a show. Like I said, it's the worst feeling in the world. I feel like I've let everybody down. But in the show in Durban, it wasn't because it was drizzling. It wasn't because there was a little bit of rain or it was cold or any of that. It wasn't safe. It wasn't safe for me. It wasn't safe for my band and crew. And it wasn't safe for the fans. And I will never, ever put anybody's safety in jeopardy. That being said, I totally understand people's disappointment. I totally understand people wanting, to refund and to not go. I totally get it. But what I will say is, if you know me and if you're a fan of me, you will know that I put my heart and soul into my music. More so than that, I put my heart and soul into my relationship with my fans. So to read some of the comments that I read, I'll be honest, on the night of the Durban show, that's all I was reading, was comments from people saying, get a better excuse. And that was awful for me to read, because I was sat there desperate. I mean, I was in Durban for 2 days. We tried to do the setup for the show. It wasn't safe. And that was nobody's fault in particular. It was just not safe. Like I said, we've been away from shows for 2 years. My shows in South Africa were the return to shows since COVID, which is an amazing feeling to be the sort of milestone moment for South Africa's live entertainment. But with that comes problems. In Cape Town, the sprinklers went off over everybody. And we had a power cut. And it was just such a shame that Durban, I couldn't even get on stage because it was just deemed unsafe. And that is beyond my control. And then Obviously, we've been able to reschedule the show, but what I will say about that is as well is there's only so much that I can do. I've been pushing and pushing and pushing for the promoter, for management, for the label to join forces to make this reschedule happen, because I will not let people down when it's within my control. And I've been pushing and pushing and pushing. And anybody, the promoters and my management will tell you that I really tried hard to reschedule the show, and it just so happens that it fell in March, which is the only other availability that I can get in Durban, the first availability I can get in Durban. So all I want to say is I am so sorry for the people who bought tickets, for people that organised travel, that organised childcare, that organised leave from work. Please believe me, because I've been there before. I understand, and I totally get it, and I am so sorry that we had to cancel that show. All I will say is some of the comments just weren't helpful, because it only made me feel worse about a situation that I had no control of whatsoever. So I hope that the cancellation didn't upset too many of you in terms of our ongoing relationship. I want to have a career-long relationship with all of you. I want to keep coming back to South Africa and every part of the world I've travelled to. And I want to do a live where I talk about all those things, and because there's so many of you I want to talk to about the shows and the tour, and like how many of you had an amazing time and who thought I could have done better. Like, I want to talk about all this stuff, but I just wanted to point out specifically about Durban that I'm sorry that it couldn't work the first time. I hope that you can make it this time around. The tickets that you bought for the first show, still for the second, still what's the word I'm looking for? Gone totally blank. Still available, still appropriate, still whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. They work for the second show. For those that can't, please visit your point of purchase to talk about refunds, etc. I would refund every single one of you myself if I could, but I can't. There's just no way. So, that being said, thank you so much for your understanding. Thank you so much for your patience. Durban, you will never have gotten forgotten. Please believe that. I must admit, I did get 2 bunny chows whilst I was in Durban, so at least I made my time worthwhile. And I'll be back 31st of March in the Botanic Gardens, and I'm also doing a second show in Cape Town, which is incredible. Not a second show in Johannesburg this time, unfortunately. There was no space to slot me in, but you'll see me again soon. Sending all my love. I just wanted it to be honest. I wanted it to be genuine. I wanted it to come from the heart. It has been bothering me a little bit, so there it is. For the vast majority of you that have been so kind and so understanding and so thoughtful, thank you so much. And lots of love. And I'll do another Instagram before Christmas. I'm not going to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that stuff. I'm also not going to talk about the rest of the tour, because there'll be another time to do it. But this is just to Durban. Lekker. I love you, and I'll be back. Lots of love.